Welcome. In today's video, I'm going to be taking you through my top 10 most played board games of 2023. Now, the top 3 are quite different, but they do all have one thing in common. Stay tuned to find out what that thing is. Hi all, welcome back to Birds on Board, the home of board gaming excellence. I'm Pigeon, and today we're going to be diving into the channel's first ever top 10 list. Can't have a board gaming channel without a top 10 list, of course. So I thought, as 2023 has come to an end, why not make a top 10 list of my most played board games throughout 2023? I only started tracking my plays on Board Game Geek this year, so although they aren't perfect, they do give you a good sense of what I played. So, without further ado, let's roll those dice and jump right in. And starting our list off at number 10, we have just one. I guess it should have been called Just 10. Designed by Ludovic Rowdy and Bruno Sauter, and published by Repos Production, the 2019 Spiel des Jahres winner is always a hit with my family and friends. Just One is a cooperative party game where there's a random word that all players know except one, the guesser. Then, it's up to the other players to write one-word clues to help the guesser figure out the secret word. But there's a catch. Players can't discuss what words they're writing down. So when they are revealed, it's a surprise to all. And if there are any matching words, those matching words get removed from the table. This extra layer of complexity means that you're often encouraged not to write the best clue, because surely someone else has already written it down. It's a very simple premise and very easy to explain to others. It also brings a load of laughs to the table. And in my opinion, that is a hallmark of a great party game. My favorite part about playing Just One with new players is silently pointing at the title whenever they ask for a rule clarification.
How many words can I write down? How many people are guessing the word each round? How many guesses do they get?
Absolutely great for larger groups, always delivering the laughs. My 10th most played game of 2023 is Just One. Coming 9th on our list, published by CGE and designed by Min and Elwin, it is Lost Ruins of Arnak. You and 3 other archaeologists are exploring the island of Arnak, discovering temples, artifacts, and overcoming the guardians that defend them. The Lost Ruins of Arnak is a combination of worker placement, deck building, and resource management. And with these mechanisms, you are trying to stage the most fruitful expedition, at least compared to the other players. The nice thing is you have multiple routes to improve your expedition. You could go the collection route and buy as many artifacts and tools as possible to bump up your final score. You could try and discover a new dig site and claim the idols that lay there as rewards. You could try to overcome as many guardians as possible and use your beastly trophies to push you into first place. Or you could slowly progress up the research track, researching and journaling your discoveries, making your way slowly but surely towards one of the titular ruins. Another 2 reasons I enjoy this game is there is a dedicated solo variant. There is some solo tiles for an autonomous player, and I love myself a good solo variant. And also the theme. The theme is absolutely dripping off this game. Every tool and artifact card just makes sense thematically, and I love it. Number 9, Lost Ruins of Arnak. And I'm really hoping I get a chance to play some of the expansions later this year. And at our 8th position, we have King Domino. This 2 to 4 player tile placement game, designed by Bruno Cathala and published by Blue Orange, is the perfect game to play while catching up with a friend. Simple to set up and explain, and playing pretty quickly, this lightweight game is something you can use to convince your non-board gaming friends to try out. And you know what? They'll thank you. Each turn, you and the other players draft tiles to help expand your kingdom. The catch is that if a tile is very valuable this turn, there's a good chance that you're going to be drafting much later next turn. Do you grab a lower ranked tile knowing that next turn you'll have dibs? Or do you grab a higher ranked tile this turn knowing that next turn you'll most likely be left with the scraps? A great gateway game, and my 8th most played game in 2023, that is King Domino. And racing into 7th position is Camel Up. Designed by Stefan Bogan and published by Pretzel Games, Camel Up is a betting game where you're trying to guess the race results of a bunch of racing camels. But it's not as simple as it seems, as the camels could climb on top of each other and carry each other over the finish line. Also, there are 2 crazy camels that have gotten loose and are running in the opposite direction. If the camel in first place hops on one of those camels by mistake, he could get carried all the way to last place. Finally, the first player to make a correct prediction wins more than those who bet after him. So everyone is rushing to place bets first, so they can leave with a massive cash pile. Very fun. One more thing about Camel Up is the table presence. The colorful camel meeples, or as I like to call them, cameeples. The massive pyramid dice dispenser, the pop-up palm tree. It really draws the eye and gets everyone excited when they see it set out. Great game. My number 7, it's Camel Up. Number 6 is a damn pretty game. Designed by Michael Kiesling and published by Next Move Games. It's what I consider a modern classic. It's Azul. Azul's box is quite striking, isn't it? A lot of people who haven't played it before will see it and ask, what's that? Which is the perfect segue to getting into play. Azul is a tile placement and drafting game. And although it does have a theme, it is so light that I usually consider this an abstract game. Azul is another one of those games that just looks so fancy when laid out on the table. The chunky tiles and bright colors draw you in. And sifting through the bag to replenish your factories, what a tactile feeling. It's so good. Easy to learn, tricky to master, fun for everyone. Don't eat the tiles. Number 6, Azul. Halfway through the list now, and we're potentially listing my favorite board game. Designed by James A. Wilson and published by Starling Games, it's the cozy and beautiful Everdell. Now, unfortunately, I don't own the base game of Everdell. What I do, however, own is the complete collection, and it's massive. I'm actually nervous about the stability of the table currently. This year, I've only played the base game and the solo variant against Rugwort. There is so much more content in this box to be poured out. It's exciting. Everdell would have been a lot higher on the list, but the complete collection came with a sticker sheet, and I committed to myself not to play the game until I finished stickering everything once I started. But damn, it took forever. All stickered up and ready to play, Everdell is a worker placement tableau building resource management game. The point is you are trying to build the best village for your little woodland critters over 4 separate seasons. I'm not alone in my love for this game, because even though they've released expansion after expansion after expansion, they have now started releasing spin-off games. Everdell Farshore being the first of what I assume to be a long-running series. And that's number 5, the most beautiful art available in board game form, Everdell. Nearing the top of our list at number 4, it's Under Falling Skies. Designed by Thomas Earlier and published by Czech Games Edition. Under Falling Skies is my only solo game so far. Using rolled dice as robots and workers to overcome these alien invaders, it's such a great puzzle. And what's better yet is there is a campaign included that slowly adds new elements and rules once you get used to the initial set. Another great feature is the modular board. You can flip over tiles to help adjust the difficulty to suit your preference, or to give you a bit of a helping hand if you've lost against the alien onslaught a few too many times. The unique mechanic where placing a higher numbered die to increase the effect of a room also causes the aliens to descend quicker. It's just so crunchy, and it's very easy for a person to fall into analysis paralysis in this game. I've actually done a few live streams of this, You'll find the playlist in the description below if you're keen to watch. That being said, this is my number 4, Under Falling Skies. And the bronze medal goes to So Clover. Designed by Francois Romain and published by Repost Productions, this party game has been a powerhouse of entertainment whenever I have friends over. Your job is to help your team guess which 2 words belong to a single word you wrote. But there's a grid, so you actually have written 4 words. But they have to rotate the 4 puzzle pieces around so all the words on the board match your written words. And to make things even trickier, a 5th puzzle piece is added, a red herring. Now this red herring shouldn't match any of the words you've written, but somehow it does. And it makes a very simple puzzle nigh impossible, and I love it. A very easy concept to understand after just 1 round, and always a catalyst for discussion and lols afterwards. It's a great party game, and it's my 3rd most played game of 2023. That's So Clover. And the runner-up on our list is Pandemic, my most played solo game. Designed by Matt Leacock and published by Z-Man Games, I have nothing but good things to say about this one. Pandemic is a cooperative game where you play as a group of specialists trying to find the cure for several diseases that are currently wreaking havoc across the globe. One way to win and many ways to lose, Pandemic is infamous for how unforgiving it is. I used to play solo by assuming the role of multiple different players. It is a cooperative game, so information is shared, and it was fine to do so. That is until I found Z-Man Games have actually published their own solo variant, and to be honest, I do prefer theirs. Very fun and very challenging, with a solid time limit. Once your player deck runs out, that's it, game over. It's one you and your buddies can play together many times and not get tired. Many folks will attribute Pandemic as their gateway into the board gaming hobby, and I can see why. It's great. I'm looking very much forward to trying out all the different expansions and spin-offs in the near future, especially Pandemic Legacy. That's my number 2, Pandemic. And finally, claiming the crown as my most played board game of 2023 is The Crew, specifically the sequel, The Crew Mission Deep Sea. Designed by Thomas King and published by Cosmos, this cooperative trick-taking game hits all the marks. It's up to you and your crew to complete a set of random tasks assigned to you, and these could range from winning an exact amount of tricks, or winning no greens, or so many more other options. And you know what? These tasks are quite easily accomplished if you just had time to plan and discuss your mission. But that's where The Crew throws a spanner at you. We are doing missions deep underwater in the ocean, and we have very little communication available to us. In some missions, none at all. And that's where the fun comes in. We're all on the same team trying to complete a set of tasks together. And we can't communicate, so all we have to go on is the cards that each player plays down within a trick. We have to read each other's minds, essentially. And you know what? If you have a good crew, that's a lot more possible than it sounds. Another great thing about The Crew is the logbook. As you complete missions, the story unfolds, and you get to find out what happened to these folks. Along with that, some tasks or some hurdles might be thrown at you to overcome in the next mission. It is a great game, and it is my most played game of 2023, and it is deserving of so. That is The Crew Mission Deep Sea. Those last 3 games are vastly different, and each has their own reasons as to why they got so many plays. So Clover is a party game. So I only play it when I have large groups of friends or family over. And what's nice about it is, as you get a few people involved, you start playing the game, being a great party game, it starts causing laughs and shouting and discussing. And because of that, onlookers get a bit of FOMO and they want to join in. So we play again. Now we have more discussion and more laughs and more FOMO is happening. And it creates a kind of feedback loop where we play, laugh, recruit, repeat. And that's why I got so many games, because it's one of those games where more and more people come in and say, can we try the next round? Can we be in the next round? Pandemic got so many players because it's great for when it's just me and my wife. It's a nice, easy game when I've got a small group of friends. And also, it plays fantastic solo. So because of that, it works at many different player counts, which is why I got so many players. Another reason is that Pandemic was the first game I ever live streamed on this channel. Because of that, I played it over and over again to try and get the streaming thing under my belt. And lastly, the crew. The crew got so many players because it is a very quick game to play a mission. Also, once you're on a winning streak, you don't want to mess up that rhythm. You want to see more of the story. You're getting in sync with your other crew members, and it becomes so easy to win that stopping would be a slap in the face. So what you end up having is that, let's have one more try. That mentality starts to set in. One more go. So the reason these games got so many players are quite different, but there is something in common. Have you spotted it? They're all in boxes. It means I like board games. No, the thing they have in common is that these games are cooperative games, co-op games. Now, I'm not sure if that says something about me or about the people I play with, but nonetheless, I find it very interesting. Well, there you have it, folks. These have been my top 10 most played board games of 2023. What games have been hitting your table? Let me know in the comments below, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more tabletop goodness. This has been Birds on Board. I've been Pigeon. May the dice rolls ever be in your favor. Happy gaming. Thank you so much for watching. Cheers.